Gemini, welcome to your Astroflower reading for the week going from the 29th, I think it is, or the 28th through to the 4th of June. Happy birthday to you. If you're having your birthday this week, it's the start of a new cycle, the start of a new year for you. You've made it through to 2023. Changing times are afoot. And we're walking into a new month of June, which is all about healing, love, and happiness after difficulty. So embrace that, if I was you. And it looks like you have been seeing your readings over the last few weeks. Let's just get straight in here. I hope you have a lovely reading. Gemini, Emperor. It's the energy to own your life. It's the moment to do it. It's the moment to empower yourself. Emperor has the process that he's conquered his physical, mental, physical, energetic, and spiritual side of his life. So he can combine those two together. So he can reign over his empire, and his empire is his physical surroundings. It's not reigning over other people. It's reigning over yourself. Knowing when to say yes and when to say no. That's really important for you, apparently, Gemini, this month. So, this week, sorry. So, yes, it's really owning it. Almost an Aries energy to it, which gives you that sort of fire and that calculation, which allows you to then just go on and actually go from one thing to another to get the result. In a very sort of ordained way about it all. Let's just see what's going on your emotional path. This actual card wanted to come out at the same time, so I'm going to take it as well. You've got the, on your karmic path, on your emotional side, you've got the Hermit, and you've got the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is a very lucky card. It's also learning about the medium-term cycle. So we have long cycles that can go up to 24 years, 48 years. Well, 24 years is really the main longest cycle for the human being. There's 9 months, 18 months, 3 years, 6 years, 12 years, and then 24 years, and then we repeat those 24 years in a different way to 48, and then from 48 to 72. So it's learning about the mid-term sort of cycle, sort of like a yearly cycle, a year and a half sort of cycle, and it's taken you a lot to get to where you are, and you should know the work that you have done over the past, say, like year and a half, to get to where you are. And you should know yourself, and expressing yourself, expressing this understanding is really important. That's what the Emperor card is all about. Knowing it, owning your future, knowing when to say no, when to say yes. The Hermit, sorry, has got his dreams and aspirations. That's what he wants. That's what's in the star that's in his lantern. He knows that, and in order to get that, he's had to look at every aspect of himself in order to get there. His shadow side as much as his sort of happy sunny side. And this is what you need to sort of start embodying it, and knowing that this cycle that's starting is a longer term cycle. It's not short cycle, it's not a real long term cycle, it's that mid cycle. It's that cycle of going from planting a seed to nurturing the plant to getting the fruit to making the jam and eating the jam. And some years are going to be better than others, and it might be every 10 years you get a bumper harvest, and every other 10 years you get like hardly any fruit at all. And these are longer term cycles, but the short term 1 year cycle I think is really important, and it's almost sort of concentrating on the here and now in a way, but with an eye on the longer term plan. That is your karmic mission. And you get the Page of Swords with it. So the Page of Swords, so you've got 2 pages now. It's the starting of something new. So this is obviously to do with your birthday season and starting this new year. The Page of Swords is opening the pathway, like the Page of Pentacles, opening the pathway for the knights to come through to secure the path. And then once the path is secure, the king and queen can come through. And this is what the universe is trying to do for you. So as you start this journey, to be mentally clear about where you're going, having those bright ideas in according to your relationships that are around you, and trying to convert those ideas into reality, into action in your life, to, bringing the ideas out of your head and putting them down on paper, for example, or bringing ideas of how you can have relationships around you, and then just sort of phoning up that person and sort of saying, hey, did you want to go to see that theatre, or did you, how would you like to go? Would you like to go cycling or something like that? It's just converting ideas into reality for you. With your guys here trying to influence your karmic message here, you get the Two of Pentacles. So concentrating on the here and now, concentrating on what you're supposed to be doing, one thing at a time in a way. And you're very good at this within your relationships. Don't try to confuse everything. Don't just throw your house, your front door open and say, okay, free house, open party. It's not like that. It's being very selective of how you engage in the relationships that are around you. And that is your future self. This is where you're going to. This is what's in the lantern of the Hermit. And this is what you've got to understand about that midterm sort of cycle. It's egging you on with happiness. It's going to bring you very joyous times if you engage by opening the door. So it might be you who has to start the communication by offering the possibility to go cycling with someone, or to go to the theatre or whatever with someone else, which opens the door to possibilities. But you're concentrating on one person or a situation at the time. So it's going to build perpetual happiness within your life once you start going through it. It's going to be really good for you. I think certainly you're heading in the right direction. Yeah. So it's going to be absolutely blinding for you. I've got people walking around here. I'm actually creating a meditation garden here where I am at the moment. So I've got a bit dirty hands at the moment, and I'm doing these readings in the garden. And people are walking past me, and everyone's so lovely here. They're really lovely, and they're trying to be very quiet as they walk past, but it's so funny to see them do it. So much love to them. But it's just concentrating on one thing at the time is going to breed happiness in you on every front. So happiness is like a soup. It's not just made with water. It's also salt. It's also pepper. It could well be garlic. Depending on what sort of soup you're making. Butternut squash, carrot and coriander. That's lovely. Lovely soup. But it's combining the elements together. One thing, knowing the beautiful taste that you get out of one thing, and then you're combining it all together because you're owning the situation. You're setting in your power. Will bring you into a position where you're actually having perpetual joy, but not just for joy through one thing. It's a joy through a multitude of things, as far as I can tell, but because you concentrate on one thing at a time. Okay, let's just see what's going on in your material life. This is your karmic path here. So it's usually with the Astroflower. So the last 3 months before your birthday is working out what you want to be doing in the future, in the coming year. These messages now have to be starting to be applied in your life according to your material life, regarding to your job. So if you want that career, if you want that new promotion, now is the time to start implementing the things you need to do in order to get that promotion, or to start that business, or to develop your business up to a much greater scale, or to start building that house, doing the personal projects in your life. Now is the time to seize and realize, kind of going, oh yeah, I thought that, therefore, I should do that. That sort of things, realizing what you've agreed with yourself. And the universe is here, is saying you've got everything, you've worked everything out by the looks of it, Gemini, and it's just a question of going ahead and doing it. The universe is saying you have everything. The best thing about this Ten of Pentacles for me is you've got these two little white dogs which are at the bottom there, and these white dogs are like your guides and your spirit and the Holy Spirit and the energy that is also encouraging you to realize that abundance, or create that abundance that you can have in your life. And it's like the universe is really backing you up and sort of saying, Gemini, just go ahead and do it, man. Just do it. Make it happen. Let's do it. So your guides here, your guys here is the Knight of Pentacles. So we've got the Page of Pentacles over on that side. Now we've got the Knight of Pentacles on your material side. The Knight of Pentacles is all about longer term plans. So this could be ideas. The wind's just picking up and calm. There we go. Lovely. The Knight of Pentacles is about a longer term plan. So he's already done a lot of the work. So there's that field that's ploughed in the background there, and he's got the seed in his hand, and it's now a case of going on ahead and doing the work, just going ahead and planting the seed, as it were. You've got those capacities, and that is the longer term, mid to longer term plans. That is all that I was saying earlier on. You've also got this aspect of sort of saying to yourself, it's something that you've been desiring for a long time. It's been in the planning for some time. And these messages that are coming through, you should have understood it. And it's now, your karmic message is in order to sort of implement those ideas that have been coming through you. Air signs, sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot. And I'll tell you what, I'll get that feeling straight off of that card there. 5 of Swords. So I think once you start getting on, you avoid that internal conflict of, is it going to work, is it not going to work? You know, that doubt, and it could also be conflict with other people that are in your workspace or your business or your projects, and it's petty arguments that no one's a winner here. No one's winning out of this situation. And I think it's a case of here is that you know, he's holding 2 swords up, so there needs to be a decision that needs to be made, and then he's got 1 sword in his hand, and it's almost sort of saying, once you make those decisions, and there's 2 swords on the grounds behind it, so once you make that positive decision in your life to go ahead and do it, you will have the Ace of Swords in your hand. You will have victory. You will have a moment of clarity, a moment of vision that is within you of how to do things. But just don't shoot yourself in the foot in making things too complicated for yourself. That's how I feel about it. As I said, it could be sort of arguments and sort of discord with sort of people that are involved in your sort of career path or your business and stuff like that. But these are arguments that are not worth winning, because there's so much stuff to do in your life, and just get on and do it. The overall outcome is the 4 of Pentacles. It ties in with this 2 of Pentacles. The 2 of Pentacles, as I said earlier on, it's about concentrating on one thing at a time. And that's that 2 of Pentacles at the bottom there. These 2 of Pentacles that you have above you is almost giving you a clarity, so you can actually then see, because you've got things into order of how you do things one thing at a time, it's going to then create space, time and energy in order for you to then do another thing that is maybe disassociated with it, that is completely different, but it's one thing at a time. And it's spending your money wisely. Yes, it could be a case of holding on to things too much, but I don't think it's a case of that. Could be something said within your material side that you're holding on to things too tightly. You're not jumping on and going ahead and doing it. And that's a possibility. But I think it's more of a case here of actually just being wise how you put your money, time and effort into things, realizing how to say yes and no to life and no to people. Yes and no to people and situations and stuff like that. I think that's really important for you. Let's just do a clarification with the Light Seers card. So with the Emperor, you have the Strength card. Yeah, so you've got to stay true to yourself. You've got to, dispel those sort of doubts and be absolutely clear with yourself about how you're taking it on and going forward. Yes, and owning the situation, basically. With the Hermit and the Page of Pentacles, you get the Seven of Pentacles, nurturing something. It's also the idea that these seeds are germinating something new within you as well. It's a changing point, and it's a point of recognition. The seven is the number of revelation, and it's like revealing to you that if you want these beautiful, happy sun energy within you, you have to nurture it. And that's what I think it ties into the Two of Pentacles is all about as well. So what's this Page of Swords coming from the universe? You have the Fool, so it's a bit of a leap of faith, knowing that you will land on your feet. You do have the Astroflower, it's got to be said at the base there, that you're falling into. Converting those ideas into, and it is taking a bit of a leap of faith, turning around to someone sort of saying, do you want to go cycling? You know, you haven't asked them before, you don't know what it is, will it be good, will it be bad? It doesn't necessarily mean a relationship, sort of one-to-one love here, but it could be sort of like member of family, friends and stuff like that. And it is just, yeah, taking a leap of faith, just going ahead and doing it. Just going, yeah, why not? With the Two of Pentacles, you get the King of Swords. This is really good card, because this is pretty much you, Gemini, as far as I can tell. And you know, he's got that one sword, as I was saying here with the Five of Swords here earlier on. You've got that one sword in your hand, and he's sitting on top of a mountain. So the mountains could be obstacles, but they could also be objectives that you know, achievements that you so wish to have in your life, goals. And through his coming towards the top of the mountain, is breaking through the layer of clouds, and that's what the Page of Pentacles is all about, clearing the path in order for that clear vision and knowledge, through understanding, through judgment of how you got to the top of the mountain, how you get to what you want, how you get to your happiness. Having that judgment within you, staying true to yourself with that Strength card and that Hermit card, will ultimately bring you perpetual happiness that's fed to you through multitude of relationships within your life. And I'm not talking about one-to-one multitude relationships, you know what I mean. And it could well be with you know, with one particular person, but it doesn't seem to be talking about that in these cards at the moment. So with the Sun card here, you get the Nine of Cups. Through this happiness here, you're going to realize that there is so many things, and it's taking one thing at a time. That is one opportunity from the Two of Pentacles. There's another opportunity from the Two of Pentacles, and spending your time wisely will actually realize you've actually got huge amounts of possibility of beautiful gifts from relationships that are around you, and also you are providing a lot of gifts to the relationships that are around you, because you have actually chosen to engage in those relationships, and no longer having to sort of watch your back, or you know, be protective about things. You've got to be you, I think, more than anything else. That's what it's sort of coming through here. Let's just see what's going on here on the clarification on this. You get with with the Eight of Wands, you get the Eight of Cups. Walking away from something and walking towards something else. And actually, she's walking towards the sun, which you have at the top here, and walking away from that one cup that could have been really good for you, but just discovering life, discovering your happiness. And you've got all the messages, you've received all the information in order to do this. And you've just got to apply it, that you know within you. The Two of Pentacles is at the base. It's all about, you know, being clear with yourself about where you're going and what you're doing. Yeah, one thing at a time, one thing at a time, one foot in front of the other. And before you know it, you're going to be making leaps and bounds. With the Ten of Pentacles, you get the Lover's card. And obviously we're on the material side of life here, so I'm not really sure that it's actually falling in love. It could be for some of you that you're falling in love with someone at your workspace. That's very possible. But I think it's more of you're falling in love with yourself and what you're doing within your job or your business or your projects, your personal projects. I think you're actually going to start, the universe is sort of saying to you, you should be enjoying this as well. If you're not enjoying this, then there's some things that need to be changed, or you haven't been listening to the messages correctly that you've been telling yourself. So yeah, it's opening up to that. With the Knight of Pentacles, you get the Four of Wands, so a bit of a celebration, moving from one state to another. It's also associated with marriage as well, so it could well be meeting someone within your workspace. But at the same time, it's where you get the Four of Wands, so you've got Two of Wands meeting another Two of Wands, so you've got a definite plan about your future, and it's a longer term plan of your future for your career path or your business, and you're dovetailing it with other people who also has a plan which seems to be very similar to yours. So then therefore you are very mutually helping each other, and it becomes a very celebratory sort of path to be taking, an enjoying path as well, going forward. And it's about the longer term view and the longer term plan within your life. Okay, let's just see what's it. That's how your past guides are trying to help you, influence you here. And they're sort of saying, you know, it's like you've got the Four of Wands here. You've decided to go through this. And in your karmic mission, you have the Eight of Wands. And it's sort of saying, it's almost as if the guides are sort of saying, you know, we've done our side of the bargain. Now it's for you to get on and do your side of the bargain. That's what the sort of feeling I'm getting from it here. With the Five of Swords, you get the Sun, happiness. You've now got the Sun on both sides. You're heading that way in this new cycle, and you should really go and see the collective reading for June. You will be having your individual reading coming out on Tuesday, but this is where you're heading towards. So you need to let go of any sort of almost childish conflicts within your career path or your business or your projects, you know, confrontations that no one wins out of them. It's just it's almost ego in a way, and it could well be your ego, but it could be the ego of the other person. It's just like sort of just don't rise to it, you know. Go towards that happiness. Look how there's, you got the Lovers, you got the Four of Wands, and then you got the Sun here. There's nothing but happy cards here for you, really. And this is the clarification. So it's trying to give you the nuance that you should be giving to your path, and your nuance is all about sort of moving on, exploring, uniting, and happiness, basically, and really sort of it will bring you beautiful success as well. With the Four of Pentacles, you get the Temperance card. Now the Temperance card is a card of patience. It's also understanding that during the day, that's why that person has got their hand on the Sun, so you should be active during the day, and the Moon is upon their hand. Therefore, you should be have that moment of rest in your life, and that is where the patience and realizing the rhythm in life and being patient with the rhythm in life. This could be a case of holding on too tightly, and have to be a little bit patient with yourself. But also at the same time, the reason we are patient is because there is a moment of action to be had. But here, I think it's a case of spending your effort, your energy, and your money and your emotions wisely in your life. And that is going to, you know, be patient with the journey, basically. Be patient with the journey. It's the start of the new year for you. It's not the end, so don't try and go too fast by the looks of it. It's, you know, staying true to yourself. Really beautiful reading, very, very constructive reading, very, very proactive reading for you, Gemini. Absolutely beautiful, and it does set you up for a lovely June. I've got to say, make sure you see your reading on Tuesday, because this will tie into it. Absolutely beautiful, and it's going to be really nice to see this month. So yeah, there you go, Gemini. I hope you got the best out of this reading. Thank you very much for being here, subscribing in, etc. Don't forget, on the 11th of June, I will be doing that collaboration with Veritas Tarot as well, with Victoria, where we'll be doing a live where you can ask questions live, and we will be answering them through our intuition, through our cards, also looking at your chakras and your aura, and maybe even, why not, doing a bit of online direct healing at the same time. I love doing that. So yeah, Gemini, thank you very much for being here, supporting this channel. I will see you soon. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.